Okay, we are now recording. I'm going to reshare my screen. Okay, present here. Okay, so this first slide, for anyone who needs it, just saying this is the Council Club's meeting, January 30th. It's not our normal meeting time. We did choose this, I believe, at the November meeting due to the conflict with our regular date with the California Democratic Party Executive Board meeting. Actually, do I have a volunteer to help assist with people in the waiting room?
I can help you if you need it, Cody.
Who's this, Andrea? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I'll make you a co-host.
Yeah, Andrea.
Hi,
Okay.
Michelle.
Yay.
David Wright, you have a question?
No, I was volunteering.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate
it.
All right. So here's our agenda for today. So I'll just read it off real quick and then we'll go into each one. So first, approval of the agenda, and then welcoming new club presidents and new clubs, if any. Announcements from elected officials. I also did tell Michelle she can make an announcement during this time. Then we'll just do a quick update on, what's new with the, County Democratic Party. We'll discuss the club development committee and elect 2 new at-large members, and then welcome all the new members. And I did send an email out to those who were already elected at the area meetings, but I would like to have hopefully a brief first club development committee meeting just after this meeting so we could include everyone. And then we'll discuss club of the year. And then just a few, reminders about recurring Zoom links, updating your information for the club on the party calendar. I was planning to do a quick update on the ADEMs process, but I believe Michelle will do that during hers. So, we'll see about that. And then if there's any new business and then other announcements. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Please raise your hand. No? Okay.
Cody?
Yes, who is
Hi,
this?
this is Deborah, Region 18.
Hi,
After
Deborah.
Michelle speaks, could I add a little bit about Region 18 as well?
Yes, thank you for being here. Also, just it's a little hard for me to see who's speaking when I'm doing the presentation. So if anyone needs to say anything, please just say like, hi, this is so-and-so, so I can figure out who's talking. So thank you. Yes, okay. Anyone else? Okay. Well, then the agenda stands approved and we'll go on to the next part. Do we have anyone today who is a new club president or any new clubs? Yes.
I guess that would be me.
Yes. Hi, welcome, Luana, for the Democratic Women's Club, right?
Yes.
Great, thanks so much. And then I see Nadia as well. Are you able to unmute, Nadia?
Tell me.
Hi, I'm the new president for the East Lake Bonita Democratic Club.
Great, thanks so much. Congrats. And then I see Jesse for the PB Dem Club.
Cody, this is Susan Pinato.
Yes.
Could you rename me? And Luana is now, if she's representing the club, and she'll be the voting member.
Great. Yeah. Andrea, could you actually help with that?
Sure.
Great, thank you. Okay. Oh, we have a lot of hands raised now. I see Lee Finney for Black Mountain Dens.
Hi, Cody. Yes.
Hi.
It's good to be here.
Great. Thanks so much. And then I see Kate Bishop.
Hello. I'm here today because we're trying to get rechartered for the Democratic Education Alliance. So I wanted to pop in and say hello and let everybody know we're having our first meeting tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, Kate. And then I think I don't know if I heard from her, Jesse from the Pacific Beach?
Yeah, hi, this is Jessie, new president of the PB Democratic Club. Great to be here.
Great to have you. Welcome. Is there anyone else that we missed? Okay. Moving forward. I will go ahead and have Michelle Krug do her announcement first. Michelle, are you able to unmute where I can find you?
I think I unmuted.
Oh, yes.
Codi.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Although I always appreciate your little unmute button. And I would just put in a plug if it's possible. I don't know where it was on the agenda that you said you were going to go over how club presidents or clubs have control over their own entry into the party calendar, because as you know, I'm your biggest fan in trying to make sure that people do the recurring link and do the get that in there.
Yes.
Be able to change it themselves. And I super appreciate that. The Michelle Krug, Region 20 Region Director. I wanted to, so I'm happy to go over quickly the ADEM status. We have the all votes need to be received by February 3rd in the self-addressed stamped envelopes. The February 9th is when the people who were elected are supposed to be announced. February 15th has been an extended date for elected officials or for central committees to post their selected appointed delegates for the upcoming 2021 to 2023 election cycle. And all elected officials have been informed of that it was extended from February 8th to February 15th. Yeah, and if there's questions around the ADEMs, if people have been having problems, I've been specifically telling them sooner than later to email the party at adem@codem.org. And Esteban has been amazing at responding to things within the same day. I haven't heard anyone say that it's been any later than that. The other thing I wanted to just bring up for us is most of you know that Dr. Shirley Weber was sworn in yesterday, confirmed the day before, and unanimously by both houses, Assembly and Senate, and was sworn in by Governor Newsom yesterday. And the governor will be announcing, but has not done so yet, the special election for Assembly District 79. We've figured out that the election itself, the primary, will be taking place either April 6th or April 13th, depending, this is all by election code, depending on when the governor announces. But it'll be one of those two dates. Our endorsing caucus, I just spoke with the new register of voters. It's no longer Michael Vu. He has now been promoted to the assistant to the county administrative officer. And he's the, I guess the word isn't assistant, but the second in command for the entire county. So his person who was the second to him, Cynthia Paz, is now the interim register of voters for San Diego. Spoke with her last night. She's going to confirm for me the date that the register of voters needs the Democratic Party endorsements. And when we do the endorsement caucus will be based on that. Basically their printing schedule for the ballot. So I'm going to take a guess that that's honestly going to happen in February sometime. And I think those are the major things. The next convention is April 26th through May 2nd. Anyone who is currently a delegate will be staying a delegate unless they get switched out by an elected or something like that. But basically, it's the old delegates that stay and play until the gavel goes down to open the convention on April 26th. And then the new people take over at that point, the new ADEMs, the new appointees. I think that's it. So if there's any questions, I just wanted, because I'm getting calls, so I just wanted that opportunity to be available to people for any questions related to either of those two issues.
Great. Thank you so much, Michelle. And just so you know, I put up a slide while you're speaking with the dates for the ADEMs that you mentioned. So,
Perfect.
and then Deborah? Oh, Michelle, sorry, did you have something else?
No, just are there any questions?
Oh, yeah.
I have a quick question.
Who is this speaking? Ehab?
This is Ehab Shahada, yeah. I have a question about so I have a lot of folks who had registered. They told me they didn't receive their ballot, so I told them, email this email address, and they did do that. And usually they get, like, at first they get a formatted response, like a standard response, and then sometimes they get like more detailed response, like, okay, we'll send you a ballot, like another ballot, maybe the first one got lost or something like that. But it seems like a lot of people, even after doing all this process, still haven't received their ballot. So a lot of the folks who registered aren't really going to get to vote because the deadline to receive the ballot is Wednesday. So I'm a little bit concerned about disenfranchisement of those folks who had requested a ballot and then are likely not going to vote.
So my knowledge about those emails is they never get a formatted response. That's not accurate. Esteban has individually responded to each of them. So it's not formatted. And he's been very clear about asking them if they wanted a replacement ballot or not. And if there is anyone, again, I would say call them. I mean, you can call the party. They're working over the weekend. They're there 7 days a week. And I know that he has given direct responses. So that's just an issue of responsibly responding back. If he sent out one, he tells you how long it should take. So they need to just respond back. Are there any other questions?
Heather Roberts has her hand raised.
Thank you. Hey, Michelle, do you know if there have been any candidate announcements in AD 79 to take Dr. Shirley Weber's place yet?
What I'm personally aware of is Akila Weber, Dr. Akila Weber, a medical doctor who is Shirley's daughter, currently a city council person in La Mesa. Shane Parmalee is a classroom teacher with San Diego Unified School District and on the PAC for the CTA County. And Leticia Munguia, who is currently a staff person with AFSCME, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Local 127. Those are the ones that either have contacted me or people have definitely read an announcement. I believe I heard that Ermique Glass had made
Yes, I saw 4 days ago she announced as well, Ermique Glass Blake she previously ran for Congressional District 51 last cycle.
I don't know if anyone else has heard anything official. I mean, names are being thrown around, but those are the only ones I've heard that it's come from them saying that they're opposed to other people saying they might run.
Great, thank you very much.
We have a hand raised from Andrew.
Hi, Michelle. How are you? This is Andrew.
Good.
Hey, a question. So if someone registered to receive a ballot but did not receive a ballot, can they go down to the county office and complete a ballot there with a mask on, of course?
Are you talking about an ADEM ballot?
Yes.
No. So, Andrew, do you have my new, this phone number as opposed to the one that's not letting people hear me?
Yeah, I left a message a couple weeks ago, but I didn't hear back. So I guess it was the wrong number.
Yeah, it's not letting people hear me.
Okay.
Take down this number, 619-888-4974. Give me a call.
All right. Thanks, Michelle.
All right. Any other questions about ADEMs or the 8079 race?
Codi, can I ask a question?
Who is this speaking?
Elise.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Michelle, does this mean that the ADEMs that were appointed by Dr. Weber, they are still ADEMs until we get a new assembly member?
Yes, that's exactly what it means.
Okay. And then that new person also gets to appoint ADEMs?
No, that new person will not, because that new person, that election will not be certified in time for them to appoint. Let me confirm, but the election itself is for sure, the primary is not taking place until April. So the new person wouldn't get certified until, even if one candidate got 50% plus one of the votes, the certification would not take place until May. So it will be after the convention, but will they be able to appoint people eventually? Yes. And then of course, if one candidate does not get 50% in the primary, there will be a runoff. And that isn't even going to take place until maybe June.
Oh, wow. So I'm still an ADEM. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, if there are no more questions for Michelle, I'm going to go ahead and let Deborah speak.
Hi, everyone. I'm the regional director for Region 18, which covers North San Diego County. And Michelle covered pretty much everything. I just want to assure everyone that the CDP has been fabulous during this whole process. As you know, there's been some changes to accommodate ballots that haven't been received. And they're very, very good about responding to emails and phone calls. And as Michelle said, they're working this weekend to make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible. So I just ask everyone to be very patient. If they have any questions, to please to call Michelle or email her, and the same with me, because I know there's a lot on social media. I think that's stirring the pot a little bit, making people a little bit nervous and crazy, but the CDP is doing absolutely everything they can to make sure everything is fair for all the ADEMs that are running for election for 2021. I do want to add that in Region 18, we've seen growth in participation over 2019. In AD 75, we have 834 participating in the election, and that 2 years ago there was about 400. And AD 76, even more, we had about 1,000 who participated, and this time 1,775. And this is throughout the state. The growth has been tremendous. And I think this is because of new activism and people just wanting to get more involved in the Democratic Party. And that is just really, really, it just gives me a lot of hope for the growth of our party. I just want to give everyone a reminder, when they fill out their ballots, it's very important that they get that voter ID number on the front of their ballot and that they bubble in the numbers, kind of like when you were back in grade school doing one of those standardized tests. That's probably the biggest one. They don't, we extended it to February 3rd for all ballots to be received. And again, just be reassured that everything is going as smoothly as it can possibly can. The regional directors last November were very concerned that there was going to be in-person voting, and we just were very afraid that January things could be bad. Little did we know that they would be this bad. So I wish everyone to stay safe, stay healthy. And again, any questions, please reach out to Michelle or myself, and I'll put my email and my phone number in chat in just a minute. Thank you, everyone. Oh, if you have any, do you have any questions?
I just want, this is Michelle. I just wanted to, you brought up a good point. There were roughly 170,000 requests for ballots statewide. So that's an amazingly high number. I don't know what it was last year. I mean, 2 years ago, but 170,000 is an awful lot for them to have to deal with.
Okay, anyone else have any questions for Michelle or Deborah before we move forward? Okay.
Thank you, Codi.
Yeah, thank you both so much. That was very informative. So I'm going to go back to the beginning because this was from earlier. So okay. Do we have any elected officials announcements briefly? Please raise your hand. Going once, going twice. Okay. So just a quick update. We had a reorganization meeting where we elected new officers. We elected folks to new committees. I actually want to see if Will's on here and would like to say anything. I saw him. Well,
hey everybody.
Hello.
I'm here.
Did you want to, I don't know if you wanted to say anything briefly.
Oh, sure. Hey everyone. So as you all know, I've been reelected chair of the committee. I have a really, I'm really excited about the new board. The officers are here. We have some new people, and then basically all the vice chairs who ran were reelected. We had a really good year last year. Honestly, we flipped the county, we flipped seats, we flipped Sandag, we did it all. But 2022 has some challenges ahead of us. We know that it's usually a bad year after a Democratic president has won. Usually it's bad for the party in the next 2-year cycle. I'm hopeful that the Biden administration will change that, because it looks like they're more investing in a relationship that will build out our parties, but we'll see. A couple things that are coming up is we've started new committees. For those of you, if you've attended your area meetings, you've noticed that there are 4 new committees. Oh, and look, there's a list of committees. Thanks, Cody. You are really prepared. We did not want those committees will start meeting in the next couple of days. My deadline's around in the first week of February. I will be sending a memo to all the members who are elected to those committees, particularly the new ones, with my appointments for co-chairs of those committees, as well as the sort of going over their mandate and having them elect secretaries. What we are trying to do right now is formalize the committee process and structure so that we can have a more inclusive and decision-making process in all of our things. So for example, some of the things that you would normally see that would play out at central committee meetings will now start to play out in these committees first, allowing us to have more high-level conversations at the Central Committee and preventing us, and also allowing us to like sort of work out some of the conflicts that could happen early on in the process as opposed to at the last minute at a Central Committee meeting. So I will have all these committees will now be meeting regularly, and then we'll be moving forward as a party with a process that is more conducive to better decision making. So and more inclusive decision making. Among those things, so you are aware that you probably should be aware of, there's a community service committee. I would like to. There's been a lot of like sort of ad hoc. Well, let's support this food drive, or let's support this fundraiser for something. And I wanted the community to have sort of a thoughtful way of how to approach that. Things like beach cleanups and stuff when we can get back into the communities. There's an issues and advocacy committee, which is going to be our effort. So for example, when we pass resolutions, great, we have a position on something. But what do we do after those resolutions are passed? And who's responsible for doing it? In the large part, it's the chair. And I'll just tell you all, I don't have the time. I don't think anybody, you all are presidents, so you understand. The leader of the organization just can't do everything. So I created this committee. So like, for example, if we pass a resolution on and make something the Democratic position, maybe they're the ones who organize people to talk at city council, or maybe they're the ones who organize letter writing campaigns or op-eds and things like that, so that we can make sure that we get our position out and make it meaningful. If we pass a resolution, it's the position of the Democratic Party. Now we're going to lobby on that. So we're going to see a lot more engagement as a party. The Candidate Evaluations Committee, as you know, I have set, since I was elected chair, I set the party on a strategic path, meaning that we are now making our decisions strategically. So how we had decided what our priority races last year had to do with the strategy, Sandex strategy. The Voice of San Diego's covered it, you've seen it in the press. This year, I also want us to look at really having a method that is objective for evaluating candidates. I want this new committee to start looking at viability. I want this committee to start looking at redoing our questionnaire because it's in dire need of an update. But in addition to that, so we're talking about things like scorecards for friendly incumbents, and just to see like if the party took a position, how do these Democrats vote if they want our friendly incumbent endorsement? So those types of things, but also to create the case. So when we do an endorsement, it's not just, oh, well, this person, everybody liked him or her more than the other candidate. It's, we've evaluated this race, and because of these reasons, we endorse this person. And that allows for us to really communicate why we make the decisions, especially since as we become a more Democratic county, we will engage in more Democratic races. It's just the nature of politics as we become more successful. So I want to make sure that when we do make those decisions, that we can communicate, okay, well, we made those decisions because candidate A is better on our issues and candidate A is more viable or whatever. So we have that objective thing that we can say and stay out of the, oh, well, I just don't like candidate B, you know what I mean? And then finally, the club development committee, or no, I'm sorry, that's it. There's one more, right? Did I get all four? I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, a committee on racial and gender equity, which is just to look at a bunch of issues to make sure that we're keeping the party inclusive. So that's going to be something that we already had the committee, the women's committee, which was an advisory committee, and now I'm merging the efforts so we can make it more intersectional. Now, the thing about this is I haven't finished selecting all my co-chairs. So FYI, if you're interested in one of these committee co-chairship, those 4 committee co-chairpersonships, please feel free to reach out to me. And you know, there's no better person to chair a committee than a club president, obviously. So that would work in your favor. Obviously, I can't give it to everyone. There's only 8 slots. And then finally, I wanted to point out a couple of things that are going to happen sort of regionally. The party, as we look over the next cycle, is still going to operate basically under the Sandex strategy. But if you look at where our opportunities are, most of them are in North and East County. And so as we start moving to focus on that, some of the things that presidents should be thinking about, particularly in their cities, is addressing some of the more vitriolic divides among the cities. What we saw in the last cycle is that because of sort of personality conflicts in cities like Oceanside and Escondido, we were not able to do as well as we wanted to do. And we split our ticket in those cities. And then in some areas, we just they just didn't benefit from the boom that everybody else did. So what you should be looking at as club presidents is making sure is pushing people towards, we're not in the process like everybody should run for everything. If you are in a city where you don't have a primary election, we cannot afford, and you're not a Democrat, you're not a San Diego, we cannot afford to split our ticket. We cannot afford to have multiple Democrats running when there's only Republicans. We will lose every single time. And that bared out in Oceanside and Escondido. And it's a major problem. So I'm going to be working with Codi on a couple of things, maybe talking about, maybe we push ranked choice voting in those cities, or maybe we push primaries in those cities, but particularly the larger ones, so that we can prevent that type of thing, because what we're seeing is because we can't get behind one candidate, we are splitting our tickets. So I would like us to work as club leaders and as leaders of our party to start bridging those divides, ending those conflicts, bringing people together, and seeing if we can get behind a single candidate and being respectful about it. Look, there are other seats that can be, maybe pointing other candidates into other races so that we can set them up for the next time, and be inclusive about it and things like that. But it's a thing I'll be working on. So that's a sort of snapshot. Thank you, Codi, for giving me the time. I yield the balance of my time to the chair.
Someone had a question in the chat. Is it too late for anyone who wants to get involved with the committee? I know you mentioned co-chairs.
So let me see. It is too late to be elected onto the committees, depending on, Andrew, the club development committee is something that's elected here. So you would have to run, and that's a thing that happens here, just FYI. It is not too late to reach out to me to pitch for one of the co-chairmanships, but that's basically the only option on. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, I haven't looked at the committees. They're all gender balanced, but the e-board can add people to those committees if we feel like there's something missing. So if we identify that, maybe there's a reason, like if you identify there's some sort of weakness in a committee, maybe we can make a case for the e-board adding. They're all new committees, and they're all my brainchild. So I'm open to adjustments as we go. I want these committees to be as inclusive as possible. We can't just put everyone on them, because then they would be ungovernable. But the whole point of this, and why I allowed it, so the rules allow that non-members can join these committees, is to make this more inclusive, allow for more people to have a voice at the Democratic Party, and that's my intent. It looks like Dr. Lowen.
Yeah, real quick though, I know, like before, like for instance, the platform committee had meetings that like non-committee members could attend to give input. Is there any other opportunity for that?
Yeah, so we are these committees. My intent is to direct all committees to have standing meetings that are open to the public, in the same way that the public meaning Democrats.
Yeah.
In the same way that we do with our central committee. And what I want to start doing also, for those of you who know, we're having an issue in terms of like a sort of topic appropriateness in the central committee, but having rules that basically say, when you're addressing this body, you're addressing the body for something the body can act on, not a random thing that we cannot act on. So that's going to be something that we're going to have to look on. When you're addressing these committees and when you're addressing the central committee, you should only be addressing issues that are relevant to the mission of our committee. Otherwise, you're wasting our time. So you'll see some of those rule changes happen as well.
Okay. And then Dr. Lawana?
Yeah, I wanted to go back.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. My question is really going back to Will's conversation about when you have Democrats cannibalizing each other and losing out to a Republican. And I just wanted to ask if there's a way to actually apply a strategic analytical lens to those conversations when deciding who to support and who to like suggest either stay where they are because they're in a place that's strategically important. For example, right now, if Joe Biden were to decide to appoint one of the Democratic senators to his cabinet, it would actually disadvantage his administration. That's just a thought in terms of
let's
the
talk offline.
conversation. It's not about personalities.
Let's talk offline about sort of like your thoughts on that. One of the reasons I created the candidate evaluations committee was in large part because of an email you sent me about the process.
Okay.
Okay. So I have been meaning to call you. So let's talk soon.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thanks so much, Will, for the update. We'll move forward now. So, Club Development Committee for this term, I'm the director. Thanks again for electing me back in November. I was sworn in at the January Central Committee meeting after I was ratified by Central Committee. We also had elections at our areas, which there are 5 of now. So for Metro West, it was Indroneal, Banerjee, and then North Coastal, Rob Howard, North Inland, Justin Domicello, and in the East, Kyra Greene, and the South, Anna Webb. We are going to be doing an election for a couple at-large positions. I'll go a little more into what the Club Development Committee is and does. So the Club Development Committee assists in drafting and implementing the annual plan for club development. They assist in the organization of democratic clubs and coalitions. They provide assistance to Dem clubs directly. They review grievances against democratic clubs or coalitions and advise the executive board of their findings. They ensure that the county party's bylaws with respect to endorsements made by chartered clubs are understood and being followed. They work with individual clubs as needed to mitigate any problems that may arise during the charter term, and they perform biennial review of the county party's club's manual. I know I've sent that to some folks recently. It's also on the, if you go to the party website and click find a Democratic club at the bottom of the list, there are links to the manual and other club resources in the chartering form. The Club Development Committee is composed of the director and 1 member from each area to be chosen by the area, and up to 2 at-large members to be chosen by the council. At least 1 member of the committee shall be a representative of an affinity club and at least 1 from a geographic club, which we do have. And then it also does state that nothing shall prevent the committee from appointing additional members by majority vote where special expertise is required. There's a process for that as well in the policies and procedures for the county party. So that's something for the committee itself to decide later if needed. Okay. So we're going to take a vote today, but first I want to make sure that everyone is properly credentialed who needs to be. So let's see. I'll stop sharing my screen for a second so we can figure this out. We have 60 people on the call today. Thanks everyone for being here. I'm just going to go down my list here. Diana Aguirre, do you need to be representing a club today? I'm just seeing who doesn't have a club next to their name.
No, thank you.
Okay, I'm just gonna rename you there to reflect that. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Anyone else? Kyra, are you representing a club today or no?
I'm not.
Okay, great. Add that. that. And then Linda Wilkinson.
No.
Okay. I'll rename you real quick here. Okay. Is there anyone else? I don't think. Rob Howard, are you representing a club today? Or are you just attending?
No, just attending.
Okay. Let's see. Sherry Sachs.
Democrats for Peace in the Middle East.
Okay. And since I actually see several people here who haven't done this yet, if you join maybe a little late, you may not know. I'm asking everyone to please put the name of their club in their Zoom, excuse me, in their Zoom name. So Sherry, I'll go ahead and do that for you now, just since I already know. But if anyone else needs to do that real quick, please do so. Suzanne Hansen, are you representing a club today or voting on behalf of one? Suzanne, are you there? Okay, I'm going to assume no for now. And then I have a
Wait a minute. This is Suzanne. I'm sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
I'm the president of East County Democratic Club.
Okay. Are you able to change your name?
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, I'll do that for you real quick. Okay, and then I have a phone number on here, 619-208-0567. Who is that? Anybody?
Could that be Michelle, perhaps?
No, Michelle's on already, unless I don't think that's her number.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
They may not know how to unmute. Star
Yeah.
6, I believe. Is it star
Yeah.
6 or star 9?
Star 6 for unmuting.
Star 6 to unmute, and star 9 is to raise your hand.
I'm unmuted. I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Hello?
can hear you.
Hi, this is Samara representing the Blue Dream Dem Club.
Oh, great. All right. I think that was the last person I saw that didn't have anything with their name. Am I missing anybody?
Greg should be popping on for the Labor Dems. He said he was getting on right now, but he will not know to write that next to his name.
Okay. Actually, I just saw Kate Bishop. You don't have a club next to your name. Are you voting on behalf of a currently chartered club today or no?
No, I'm a guest today. I just wanted to get used to being here in case I get elected president of the Educational Alliance.
We love that. Thank you. Okay. I think that is it. So we're going to move forward. So I'm going to ask if folks can raise their hand if they would like to nominate themselves or someone else. Okay, I see Andrew. If you would like to unmute yourself. Andrew.
Hi, I would like to place my name in nomination for one of the at-large positions for the Club Development Committee. I'm currently serving as the Vice President of Development for the Black Mountain Democratic Club. I'm also a current member of the Dems for Equality, and that was my first club when I moved to San Diego back in '97. And I served on their board for 4 years back in those first 4 years. And then I'm also a current member of the Claremont Dems and a past member of Pacific Beach Dems. I just haven't got my renewal in yet, but I'm planning to do that as well.
Okay, thank you. And actually, I'll give I'll give each person, I guess, a minute to kind of say something. But if you could just, I'll do that in a minute, like a little bit later. But if, or I guess I'll just do it now. So, since you already also introduced yourself, so the next person on my list here is Johan. Johan, can you unmute yourself?
Good morning, everyone. This is Johan, and I will nominate myself to be considered for the club development position. I think, Codi, we can do a little blurb right now, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm currently kind of the interim person for California Young Democrats, helping out state clubs. And, I'm coming off of a 3-year campaign in California's 50th district. And I, helped start the Escondido Young Democrats way back when, and currently working on East County Young Dems, because I know that we need a lot of help and a lot of organizing in East County, and I want to help and support other clubs in the rest of the regions. And I hope y'all can support me in helping the community do that.
Thank you. That was under a minute. Perfect. Okay. Next person. I'm gonna just lower your hands quickly, but I did write these down. So okay, next person I have is Katie.
Hi, everyone. I would like to nominate myself. I have been involved in politics since the age of 17. I've been a part of quite a few clubs. I'm currently the at-large member for the San Diego Progressive Democratic Club. I also was the chair of the California Young Democrats Progressive Caucus. I've worked a variety of campaigns in San Diego, including the 50th race, as well as I was the area field director for the Bernie Sanders 2020 campaign. And I really want to be on the club development committee once again to be able to help mentor new clubs, as well as get more young clubs in Young Dems involved in politics, because that's really, really important. So I hope to earn everyone's support.
Thank you. Okay, next I see, Kelly King.
Hi, I would like to nominate myself. I really would love to be on the club development committee. I think it's the way that we make our party more responsive to voters and the public. And I'd like to work on a couple of projects that were started in the club development committee. One is helping clubs to set their goals and do needs assessment and measure what they're doing. But another thing is an idea that came up in the club development committee at the very end of the year, and that is for clubs to develop an issues list. A list that will help brand the club, increase membership because people know what the club stands for, help interaction between the clubs when they share issues, or affinity groups with geographical groups working on common issues, and will provide a way to ensure that new issues are coming up to the fore. So my name is Kelly King, and I hope I have a chance to contribute in this way to the club development committee.
Thank you. And then Will, are you still on? I had a question. Or maybe Emily Bonner.
What's up?
This committee, is it it's required to be gender balanced, is that correct? Or no?
Oh,
I'm not sure. I didn't really see.
No, it's not mandated. However, the e-board can add members if for some reason it goes one way. The e-board has the right or has the ability to make it that way.
Okay.
That's up to you.
And is it by those self-identified woman and other, like, like men or non-binary? Is that the two groups?
So the parties, our party approach is it's as you know, because we did this at CYD, it's not self-identified female and other than self-identified female, it's differing genders.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different. It's not binary.
So I guess in terms of the gender balance question, then does it basically need to be like a third, a third, a third then, or how does that work?
No, I think in terms of like respecting the rules, gender parity is typically the ideal, and I think it's mentioned in our bylaws. However, if the board decided, you know what, we need more non-binary representation, it has the right to make that determination. And it and same thing if like it's two female, or which is not possible until it's all female, or it's two male, we have the right to make appointments to. So it's just an option that the board has.
Okay, great. So really quickly, I started to create a Google form for this just to make it easier. So if folks want to give me a minute, I'm just going to put in the names since I didn't, know who was going to necessarily announce. So I will do that. And again, this is only if you are credentialed to be voting on behalf of a chartered Democratic club. And actually, I apologize, but it was brought to my attention that the North County Young Dems are not chartered currently, so we're not able to count that club today. But please let me know if you want to discuss the process for that. It does need to be approved by Central Committee. Okay, so my 5 folks are Andrew, Johan, Katie, Kelly. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did David Wright have his hand raised earlier? I think I wrote your name, but did you say something? Did I miss that?
Katie self-nominated, so I.
Oh, okay, perfect. I had written your name when you had your hand raised, and then I didn't see it anymore.
I was going to nominate Katie, so she self-nominated.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Okay, so we have 4 people. Again, it's Andrew, Johan, and Katie, and Kelly. So give me 1 minute.
Codi?
Yes, who's this?
It's Andrea. You're being asked, I was sent a direct message asking if you could put the current members of the committee up again.
Yeah, give me 1 minute. I'll share my screen again once I create the form, if that's okay.
Codi, I don't know how to raise my hand on here.
Okay, yeah. Do you have a question?
Yes, I'm wondering if there are any Blacks on the development committee.
Rob Howard.
Oh, hi, Rob. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Greene.
Oh, yes, I apologize.
I was gonna ask if I changed, yes.
Yes, I'm so sorry. Yes. So I'll just read it real quick. So yes, so the committee members right now are myself, Indroneal Banerjee, Rob Howard, Justin Domicello, Kyra Greene, and Anna Webb. So to answer your question, 2 of the 6 members, I believe right now are.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for asking that. Okay, so real quick, let me just make sure. Okay, Andrew, Johan, Katie, Kelly. Okay, so bear with me. I would like to try to do this ranked choice. We're gonna go a little, so this way you can say who your preferred choice is and still give, a second choice. But if anyone needs assistance, I'm happy to help. This, isn't a super long ballot. There's only 4 people running. So I'm gonna put this link.
Is it going to be the top 2 because there's 2 positions?
Yes. So let me put this link in the chat here. Okay. And if you need to be called on, I will call on you. Just let's make sure this is working first. Is everyone able to access the form to fill it out?
I can.
Is that
I'm on the phone.
Right, I'm going to call on you, but I just want to make sure the link is working. Has anyone been able to access the link yet that I put in the chat?
This is Angela. I was able to.
Perfect. Okay, so please put your name, as it says, put your name, your club, the name of your club, assuming you're the person voting on behalf of your club today. And then you're going to put your first choice, so your top person you want to get elected above all else, your second choice, and then your third choice. There is no point in putting the same person for all three because you get to vote for more than one. So does anyone have any questions about this? Basically, your favorite person first, your second favorite person second, and your third out of the fourth as your third choice. And I know this is new, but I promise we'll get through it. Any questions before I call on folks who need...
Yeah, I was just asked if you could restate the current members of the committee again.
Yes. Let me reshare my screen here.
Is there like a mathematical equation that is used to figure out who gets how many votes fractionated and such?
This is how it works. So in the first, let me share my screen first because that folks did ask that. So I'll get to your question in a second. Okay. Sharing my screen again for those on their computer or smartphone. Can you see my screen? I'll assume yes if I don't hear a no. And I'll restate the club members again, just, for those who can't see it. Again, the Club Development Committee members are myself as the director. For Metro West, Indroneal Banerjee. For North Coastal, Rob Howard. For North Inland, Justin Domicello. For East, Kyra Greene. And for South, Anna Webb. And we are electing 2 at large. So the way that ranked choice voting works, it's counted in rounds. So the first round, I'm going to count all the top, we're going to count people's first choices. And then the person with the least amount of votes gets dropped off. Basically like how clubs usually do multi-round endorsement processes. So, we'll count and for the person who has the least amount of first choice will get dropped. And then we'll do a second round. And then the person with the third least choices will get dropped. It'll take me a bit to just kind of go through it, but I want to, see if we can do this. And again, we are electing 2 people. So unlike with an endorsement vote. So, anyone have any questions? I believe the 2 people on the phone Michelle's not voting for someone today. So Sonara, if you would like to, you can read it out to me, or if you want to text me your votes or Facebook message or whatever's easiest.
Okay. So do I give you my full list?
Yeah, so your first choice, your second choice, and your third choice. Let me read the names of the people again, actually, just so the candidates are Andrew. I apologize, Andrew, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but Andrew McClusiak? Sorry, could you actually state your name for me? If you're there.
I think it's Miklushik.
McClusiak?
I think so, but I yield to him, obviously.
Is he on, Andrew? Okay, maybe not. But then, and then Johan Espinoza, Katie Meyer, and Kelly King. Actually, why don't I put that on a slide here? I think that would help. Maybe a new slide.
Okay, so am I voting first?
Yeah, so do you want to read me who you want?
So first, Kelly, second Andrew, third Katie, fourth Johan.
Okay, first Kelly, second Katie, third Johan.
No, first Kelly, second Andrew.
Oh, I apologize.
Third Katie, fourth Johan.
Okay. And you don't need to state the fourth one because, you know, it's only 3, but yeah, thank you. Okay, so first Kelly, second Andrew, third Katie. Do I have it right now? Kelly, Andrew, Katie?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone else need to verbalize their votes? Raise your hand, unmute yourself, whatever you need to do. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay. Has anyone not filled out the form yet that is still working on filling out the form? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. Just making sure. Okay. I have 34 responses so far. Let's see. I'm going to give folks another minute, or I'll wait until 11:13. So please keep filling that out if you need assistance.
Hey, I need assistance, Cody. This is H. Where's this form?
I've put the link in the chat, but it might have been drowned out. Are you on your phone, or are you able to access the chat? H? You're muted.
Yep, I got the link. I'm working the link right now. Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, no
I'll,
worries.
All right, thank you.
Let me know when you're done. I'm giving folks a couple more minutes.
It looks like there's 37 voting members, right?
Sounds about right. I know some folks have left and returned, so I'm not exactly sure. I haven't counted recently, but thank you. Let's see. I am not a voting member. I only, I'm chairing the meeting, so I'm not voting in this right now. Anyone else?
It's done, Cody. Thank you.
Thank you. I see we have 36. Kevin, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, sorry, I just had to get off a family call. What's the vote?
Club Development Committee at large. I just put the link in the chat again. Are you able to access it?
Yeah, I'm looking at the form now.
All right, so yeah, it has the candidates on there, which are Andrew, Johan, Katie, and Kelly.
All right.
And please remember, it is only if you are the club president or voting on behalf of a club today at the direction of your club president. And I will check to make sure we don't have any extras in there. I see a couple folks joining right now. Griselda, are you there? Griselda. Griselda, were you able to vote already or no?
I did vote already, yes.
Okay, great. I just, some folks maybe are getting disconnected, or I don't know if they voted already. Okay. Okay, it is 11:14 now. I am going to go ahead and close this now. So bear with me. I'm actually going to give some time to give announcements right now while I go ahead and sort this out. So if anyone would like to make an announcement, please raise your hand. And I'm going to give.
Cody, would you like for me to track that while you count?
Yeah, that would be great, actually. Thank you.
Are we giving people time?
Yeah, I think, well, it seems pretty short right now of a list, so maybe let's do up to 2 minutes each.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm gonna lower your hand and go ahead and start.
Okay, thank you. My name is Ehab Shahata, and I just wanted to announce my candidacy in the ADEM in case anyone still hasn't submitted their ballot. I know some people got their ballots late, so if you drop it in the mail today, it should get there by Wednesday. I'm trying to obtain a seat for district number 77, and just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I authored a couple of resolutions over the past year. One was the police demilitarization resolution, which was passed by the county party in August. And the other one was the Palestinian Children Human Rights Resolution, which was passed by 4 Democratic clubs in San Diego County, as well as the Children's Caucus of the CDP. In addition to being a member of several clubs, I've done a lot of work for voter empowerment in communities that are traditionally disenfranchised. And on the state level, I'm a member of 3 caucuses: Progressive, Arab American, and Children's Caucuses. And I've supported progressive candidates such as Kimberly Ellis in the past. I would really love to have your support. Please vote for myself, Ehab Shahata, and the Progressive Unity Slate for district number 77. Thank you so much.
Perfect, thank you. And that was just a little bit over a minute. So I'll unmute, or I'll lower the next hand. If you guys hear a little ringing, it's that your 2 minutes are up, okay? Dr. Lawana, go ahead.
Okay, so this is really just about my fun, and I just want to invite all of you who are interested. I'm hosting an Afrofuturism Dream Tank on February 14th with the UC San Diego Craft Center. I'll put the link in the chat, but it's basically, I'll be facilitating an immersive experience of art, music, science fiction, and fact, history, and current events in celebration of Black History Month, but also encouraging people to catalyze their imagination to dream forward and co-create visions of the future we want. This dynamic group of creators will entertain, inspire, and energize. We'll have Maharani Peace, Afrocentric abstract found and recyclable artist, culinary and creator, and community organizer, Elise Smith Cooper, the Brown Fairy Godmother, poet, educator, Adria Fox, urban alchemist, Kamar Bradford, co-founder of Afrofuturism Lounge, and King Britt, educator, DJ, producer, and Max Moses, community artist, educator, program. He does installations all over the world. And the whole idea is just to get people to suspend disbelief and imagine a better world and think about how to get there. And talk about action items. So, you know, if you just want entertainment, you can come be entertained and not participate in the discussion. If you want to be part of critical thinking and sharing ideas, you're welcome to engage. I'll put the link in the chat, and it's an open invitation. Thank
Awesome,
you.
thank you for that. Okay, school board member and Democrat, Kay Bishop.
Thank you, Andrea, so much. Kay Bishop, she, her, hers. I just wanted to give a little bit more information about the Democratic Education Alliance that we're starting back up. Our very first meeting is tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'm going to put the link for that in the chat. We welcome anybody who cares very deeply about educational issues. We are trying to get more educators involved in the Democratic Party because we believe that education is a top priority and needs to be a top priority across the board, and we need to push for more progressive education issues. We welcome everybody to join us, whether or not you're an educator, but we are definitely trying to get more educators into the party. Thank you so much. I'll put the link in the chat.
Great, thank you. Narima, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, hi. I'm just going to announce that the Encinitas North Coast Dem Club will hold their Zoom meeting on the 6th of February at 12:30 p.m. We will have a guest speaker, Dr. Thad Kusa from UCSG, who will be speaking on how will the 2020 elections shape state and local policy in 2021. Mike Levin will also be coming to update us on what's happening in DC. We will also have Assembly Member Tasha Bonahovat and someone from the County Supervisor's Office to talk about the vaccination program. So anyone interested, please go to our website, encdc.org, for further details. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Great, thank you. Greg, please unmute yourself.
I'm sorry, did you say Greg?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm Greg Robinson, Labor Dem president. Just wanted also to extend an invitation to our next meeting, February 14th at 2 p.m. We're doing a cycle of looking at the situation of our frontline workers in San Diego, especially those union members. Last meeting, we went through and discussed the situation with educational workers. The next one on the 14th, we'll be looking at frontline healthcare labor members and what they have been going through given the horrible situation with the virus and their attempt to try and help us through this period of time. Extremely important conversation. We'll also have a kind of overview of the labor movement given by Keith Maddox, the retiring head of the Labor Council. So he'll be giving a kind of retrospective. Everyone is invited and hope to see you then. I will also put that into the chat and the link for that. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Indro, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, thanks. So everyone can hear me okay. So today I am running for an ADEM. My name is Dr. Indroneal Banerjee. I'm representing the API DEMs. But beyond that, what I wanted to highlight today was today's January 30th. And if you didn't know, it's Fred Korematsu Day. We've just had Fred Korematsu, the full title is Fred Korematsu Day of Civil Liberties in the Constitution. Fred Korematsu was a gentleman who was interned during Japanese internment. Really quick, we've had City of San Diego County, National City, and several others put out proclamations over the past week and month recognizing Fred Korematsu Day. The other thing I'd recommend is the One Books, One San Diego program has a book every year, if you didn't know. And last year, I think this flipped around, but the George Sakai graphic novel, They Called Us Enemy, I'd recommend everyone getting a copy of this, reading through it, and giving you a chance to learn about Japanese internment. And I'll put a link to the Fred Korematsu Institute in the chat. Just check it out. He was an amazing civil rights hero. And yeah, just take a look. All right, thank you much.
Awesome, thank you so much. And finally, Richard Ram, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, Richard Brom with the San Diego County Democrats for Environmental Action. I'd just like to announce that we're having our next club meeting on Wednesday, the 17th, at which we have an election for new club officers in the club. So if you're a member of our club, please join us on the 17th. Also, I'm going to put a link in the chat for our latest blog entry from our president, Dr. Codi Pedersen. And this has to do with elections have consequences. So now we have a majority on the San Diego County Board of Supervisors. And what happened just this past week, in fact, a few days ago, was they passed a very ambitious regional sustainability plan with a goal of reaching zero carbon emissions by 2035. So that's just 14 years from now. If we can reach that, that would be really epic. So I'll put the link in the chat. I'd like everybody to go to, just to go check that out. Thank you.
Okay, so
Codi, I can't get there's no hand to raise, so I have an announcement.
Okay, go ahead. And then after Seth, we'll pause announcements for now because we do have results, but we can take more at the end. So Seth, go ahead.
Okay, Shirley Weber is going to be speaking at the Rancho Santa Fe Democratic Club on Thursday, February 11th. Meeting starts at 7 o'clock. and anybody can come. So you can just go to rsfdem.org to get more information. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So I'm going to share my screen and kind of go over this so you can see how I counted them and hopefully learn how easy it is. So can everyone see my screen here? I'll take silence as a yes. So here's what I did. Notice I did cross out Katie because she had originally voted on behalf of Progressive Dems before Kevin hopped on. And then I just color coded this for easy viewing purposes. So for our first choice here, we had, I don't know if you can see in the corner here, but Google Sheets automatically counts things for you when you highlight them. But we have 5 votes for Andrew. We have 8 for Johan. We have a whopping 16 for Katie. And we have 7 for Kelly. So the way the process works for ranked choice, thank you so much, Andrew, for your interest. He did have the least amount of first choice votes. So we're going to go ahead and take his name off. And then we're going to distribute the votes of these clubs to their second choice. So of those, 3 were for Katie, 1 was for Kelly, and 1 was for Johan. So we knew Johan had 8, so that adds 1 to his, which is 9. Kelly had 7, and this adds 1 to hers, which makes 8. So out of those, the top 2 then are Katie and Johan. Does anyone have any questions about that? I'm also going to put up a slide here with the final results. So again, you can see first round, Andrew had 5, Johan had 8, Katie had 16, Kelly had 7. We took off Andrew, redistributed those clubs to their second choice votes. 1 was for Johan, 1 was for Kelly, 3 for Katie. The final results are Katie at 19, Johan at 9, and Kelly at 8. Do we have any questions? I'm trying to open the chat. Give me a minute.
No questions. Just congratulations.
All right. See how easy that was? Okay. All right. So now we're going to move forward to the next part of our agenda. Club of the Year. Woohoo. All right. So I am tentatively planning to vote on this in February. I believe the ballots say we're supposed to do this in January, February. Obviously, we're not doing it today, but I don't think we're as time limited as we were in the past with the Roosevelt dinner. So, we want to make sure we have folks that do give input or that want, to seek the nomination. So the committee, which I have reached out to, so they are the past 5 years winning club's current presidents. So those are the Pacific Beach Democratic Club, the Fallbrook Democratic Club, the Democratic Club of Vista, the La Mesa Foothills Democratic Club, and the San Diego Dems for Equality. And last but not least, the AAPI Democratic Club. So if you are a current president of that club, you should have received an email about that. If you didn't, please let me know. My email is clubs@sddemocrats.org. I will also put that in the chat once I open it. clubs@sddemocrats.org. Or you can email me directly, actually. It's just my first and last name at gmail.com. Contrary to popular belief, there is no period between my first and last name. For some reason, I sometimes still get emails that say that. So I don't know if Google just figured it out or not, but those are the emails where you can reach me. Just for your information, when you email the club's email, that actually goes to myself as well as our party staff, because they assist with a lot of questions that come to there. Okay, so how are nominations evaluated? So the assessment of Club of the Year will address the description of the award, which has set an example for other clubs through innovative programs, community outreach, political influence, growth, and positive impact on its community. Each club can produce a year-end report that includes a checklist of objective criteria, including but not limited to number of meetings held, number of new members gained, number of members renewed, number of members in attendance at their meetings, number of Go Team members, participation in voter registration. You can also include with that, the number of people your club has registered if you're tracking that, how many doors you've knocked, phone calls you've made, that type of thing. As well as types of programs and how they were received, including elected officials. If your club previously was nominated for Club of the Year, when that was, and then representation and participation at this meeting, the Council of Clubs, including if you've given written reports, provided, programs, that type of thing. But this is not an exhaustive list. So please feel free to consider other things that have not been listed here that you think might be particularly, relevant or important. And oh, I see there's something in the chat. Was that? No, okay. So in prior years, clubs have provided, either PDF applications or maybe Google slides like this or PowerPoint presentations. These can also be presented by the nominated clubs at our February Council of Clubs meeting. Anyone can nominate someone. Multiple people can nominate the same club, but that doesn't really change anything. You just need to be nominated once. It's not how many people nominate you. And then the nominating committee will reach out to them, especially if it wasn't, the club itself or the club president that nominated them, and, give a chance for the club to provide more information prior to their evaluation. If you do want to nominate more than one club, please use a separate form. So, here we go. This is the link. I'll put it in the chat as well to get to the form. It's for anyone who can't see this right now. Oh, if I can open the chat, that would be helpful. For some reason, my chat's not opening. Andrea, can you put that link in the chat?
Yes, I'll do it right now.
Thanks so much. So I don't know, Andrea, are you just my deputy now? Because I'm totally good with that.
Always happy to help you, Cody.
So yeah, it's bit.ly/2021 club. Just some short link that I thought of when I was preparing this. I'm actually going to pull that up on my screen. So give me 1 second. That way folks can see what it looks like. Okay.
For some reason, it doesn't click through, so I'll put the actual Google form link on there too, if anybody wants to.
That works too. Okay, so Club of the Year, and then I put, the info at the top here that I basically provided in the slides, but I'm just gonna ask for your email address as part of the submitting the form, your name, you're the person nominating somebody, the club you're nominating, name of the nominated club. And then I just want to know, are you the president of the club? Are you an officer of that club or a general member or other? So if you're nominating a club you're not a part of, which is very kind of you, just, make a note there that you're not officially representing that club. We just want to know that because if someone who's not, representing the club submits a nomination, again, we want to make sure the club knows and has time to submit some information. And then we also are asking for a brief answer about, why you're nominating this club. There is an option here to do a file upload. or a link if you want to prepare, Google Slides or something. You can click here to send you a copy of your responses. If you're not able to access this form, you can also send over an email to me, and I can help with that. But I wanted to give an easy place for folks to kind of do this at their leisure and keep everything together. And the information you provide will be shared, of course, with the nominating committee. And again, those clubs that I mentioned from the past 5 years that have won are not currently eligible for Club of the Year. So API DEMS is eligible next year, Indro, just so does anyone have any questions about the Club of the Year form or process? You can raise your hand if you can. *9 if you're on your phone. No questions. Alrighty, well, we're gonna move forward then. So, recurring Zoom links. I know John has mentioned this before, and of course, Michelle as well. Now, most of us, I believe, are still meeting online. We're still in a pandemic. Of course, not everyone uses Zoom. If you use Google Meets or anything like that, this applies as well. You are required to provide your link to the party. It is the location of your meeting. So you may have seen some of us requesting those. We do ask that you provide those. This is from the bylaws or policies and procedures, I forget which one, but all meeting dates, times, and locations shall be provided to the county party at least 14 days prior to the meeting for publication on the party website. So we'll go over in a second how you can accomplish that. Also, please let us know if you're canceling the meeting so people don't, show up to something that doesn't exist, or if you're changing it. So we encourage everyone to use a recurring Zoom link, which basically means it's the same link for every meeting. That way, you can just put that one time on the party calendar and it works every time. Otherwise, if you really would like to make a new one every month, you need to send us the new one every month. And you can have a recurring meeting and still require registration. You can either automatically or manually approve registrations if you want to check who registered before you approve them. You can have them register for each meeting or once for all of the meetings, and they can use the same personal link every month if you do the latter. If anyone has any questions about this or would like kind of a walkthrough of how to do that, I'm happy to do that, with you directly. But, we are about a year into this, so I feel like a lot of folks know about this already, but we really want to do is make sure people know to provide us that link. And I know John has mentioned this before, but clubs are supposed to have access to editing their item because the party's calendar is a Google Calendar. And basically you should be able to edit it yourself. And isn't that a lot easier than having to send it to the party every month? So if your club used a Gmail address when you chartered, you should have received that already, and we can go over if you need to find it. If you did not register with a Gmail, you should be able to still log in with a Gmail address. It might have been a while since it was shared, so that link might not be easily available to you. But if you don't currently have access to do this, please email calendar@sddemocrats.org. I did this recently for one of my clubs, the San Diego County Young Dems. We got it updated, so it was shared with a Gmail that we could edit, and we were able to do that pretty easily. It's a really great and efficient tool. You email calendar it'll go to me as well as the party staff that are able to do that. I personally can't edit the calendar for everyone myself. That is the staff. But I'm happy to help you check in with them or anything if needed. Are there any questions? Going once, going twice. Okay. Yeah, so again, if you have access, you can just edit the item itself. You can put in the date, the link, the time. You can also add details from your agenda to each meeting. So if you have links you want people to be able to have or anything like that, you can put that on the Google Calendar item. We went through an update on the ADEMs process, but I will just pull this up again in case folks didn't see. The deadline to receive your ADEM ballot is Wednesday, February 3rd. That's next week. The final results will be posted to the CADEM website on February 9th. Monday, February 15th is the deadline for appointed county committees, elected officials, and statewide chartered organizations to submit their appointments. And then by Tuesday, February 23rd, the roster will be finalized. Sorry, I think someone sent something in the chat. If you have a comment or question, can you raise your hand? I'm having a little difficulty. I am the chair of the Club Development Committee. I think someone asked that. Yes. And again, if you want to reach me, clubs@scdemocrats.org is the best way to do that. Okay. I don't think we had any new business. Any other announcements from earlier that we didn't get to? Please raise your hand. *9 if you're on your phone. Questions, comments? Nadia raised her hand. Nadia?
Hi, everyone. I'd like to introduce myself again. I'm the new president for the East Lake Bonita Democratic Club. I'd like to invite everyone to our February 11th meeting. It's going to start at 6:30. Yes, we are a community-based club. We are based in the city of Chula Vista. But for those of you that know, East Lake and Bonita is a small red pocket within a large blue city. One of our goals this year is to post and to promote blue candidates because we've never had a blue city council member. So our hope is to hopefully get a Democratic council member in place. Also for this year, our goal is unity with accountability. So we will be centering Black voices this month this is my son, by the way. He's very Democratic. We will be centering Black voices for Black History Month. We will be having the South Bay leader of the Black Lives Matter March, and we will be having the youth that put it together. They are amazing. They were all between the ages of 15 and 20, and they will be coming back and giving us an update. So we do invite all of you to come join us, and hopefully you have time.
All right, thank you. Okay, I'm going to lower your hand. And then Linda.
Hi, I'm Linda Slater from the Demco, and I just wanted to say that we had a horrible situation develop with Zoom last Saturday. We had 65 people on the call, and most people couldn't raise their hand. Now I've reached out to Zoom, and they just give me a bunch of stuff that doesn't really help. So I was wondering if anybody has any advice for us.
I have not heard that. Justin?
Sorry, really quickly. So I'm going to assume that your membership probably has Macs. And so if they have a Mac, your raise hand feature is under the reactions button at the bottom of the screen on the banner. If you're on mobile, the same thing applies for iPhones. So that's an iOS and Apple problem.
It's happening to me on this call.
Oh, that's so.
And you're on a computer. See, I was on a computer, and some people could, a few people could, but
Okay, so Seth, do you not see the option at all where it normally is, or just you click in and it
No.
doesn't work?
Okay, I just did it under reactions. So it works under reactions, not under participants.
Interesting. Maybe some folks have a different version of Zoom.
Yeah,
Zoom
the
did send out an upload.
I think that's just
Okay,
updated.
okay, hold on. Sorry. I think Andrea, were you trying to say something?
Yeah, sorry. I think that's what Justin was trying to say. The update for Max changed where the position of some of these things are, and now they moved the hand raise feature under reactions rather than under the participants tab, which it was at before.
That's good to know. Okay. Seth, are you on a Mac?
I am not on a Mac.
Oh, that's interesting. So okay. It sounds like it still fixed your problem, though it was under the
It fixed the
reactions.
problem, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know, so we can let folks know. Okay, thank you, Justin and Andrea. Okay, next on my screen, let's see, I'm gonna lower Linda's hand. Justin?
Hi everyone, I just wanted to announce that the North County is getting their own super vaccination station, and to remind people that around noon is the best time to refresh the portal to try to get appointments. That's what I've heard, and in my experience as a healthcare worker, that has proved to be true. Any other time and it's like near impossible to get a vaccination date. I think it's still open to people 65 and older. And the Escondido County Health Office was taking walk-ins this week, and they might extend that to this upcoming week. So if you have somebody 65 or older or a healthcare worker, they are taking walk-ins at the Escondido County Health Office on Mission Avenue.
Hey, thanks, Justin. Okay, next I have Dr. Lawana Richmond.
So I was just wanted to say that problems with Zoom seem to be persistent, and it's really an education opportunity. I'm wondering if it would be worthwhile to put together Zoom tutorial or some type of Zoom training for all party members, just to, questions that you don't want to ask in a meeting because you're embarrassed. I'd be happy to help facilitate that. But I think we're going to be doing virtual meetings for quite a bit longer. And it could be a consideration to make sure that everyone involved is able to fully participate and engage.
Yes, thank you. So I will say we did do some of those before, and we can certainly do those again. There is information on the Dem Club site. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Buddy, while you're pulling that up, Dr. Richard, I'll be happy to jump in and help you out with that as well too if you need.
Awesome, thank you. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Okay. So Dem Club site here, and actually I wanted to let folks know I created this sort of link here to provide some quick links to resources that folks ask for a lot. So it's called a link tree. So link tr.ee/demclubs. So we have here Club of the Year app, Club of the Year info, demclubs.org website and resources. So that's what I have up right now. And I'll go back to that in a second. But if we go here, help. Somewhere on here. Video. So help, technology tools, video conferencing. This was set up by John. Really appreciate all the work that he did on that. So there's some information and links here as well if you want to go there. And yeah, there are other options besides Zoom. It just seems to be kind of what everyone's using. There's Google Meets, there's the old-fashioned conference calls, which a lot of my meetings pre-pandemic that were phone calls have all turned into video calls when they never used to be. I don't know if anyone else had that happen, but that's a fun thing. But again, this is on link tr.ee/demclubs. We have these resources here. Dem Clubs listing, club manual, endorsement report form, club chartering form, dues payment, member roster template, Central Committee member form that club presidents use to appoint associates, whether themselves or someone else. County party member resources and for young Dems. So yeah, and I can include that. I just set that up pretty quickly the other day. So yeah, I hope that will help. And yes, I would love intro if Dr. Lolana wants to help as well, we can do some more trainings on how to use Zoom. There are a lot of new features since we originally did those. Okay, so next on my screen, I have Taz.
Hello, everyone. Tazeen from Vista Democratic Club. I wanted to invite everyone to our meeting next month, February 13th at 10 a.m. via Zoom, of course. Our speaker will be Dr. Lisa Schaefer. She is previously Encinitas City Council member, and her book is titled Potholes, Parks, and Politics, A Guide to Getting Things Done Locally without having to run for office yet. Not that we're discouraging anybody from running for office, but come and find out how we can get stuff done locally. Thanks.
All right, next I have Ryan Trabuco.
Thanks, Cody, and good morning, everybody. Just wanted to give a real quick update from Supervisor Nora Vargas's office. I didn't get a chance to do this earlier because I had to give the same report over at Coronado Dems, which is meeting right now, but super quick because everybody wants to get off, I know. We are going into our first month as a county supervisor, along with Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer. A lot of things are changing at the county. For those of you that have been keeping up with some of the news, it's been very refreshing. So just going over a couple of these accomplishments, we've directed the County of San Diego to take a more data-driven, collaborative, and equitable approach to addressing COVID-19. We also declared racism a public health crisis in the county. So what this means is we are going to start prioritizing equity, ensuring any future investments are made in communities where the need is greatest based on science and data. This week, Supervisor Vargas announced a policy package aimed toward communities impacted by pollution. And among these 5 things include declaration of pollution at the Tijuana River Valley as a public health crisis. We are going to create a South County Environmental Justice Task Force comprised of federal, state, and local representatives from agencies, environmental justice organizations, and residents to advocate for additional resources. We're going to adopt the county regional sustainability plan. We're going to establish a climate advisory committee, and of course, adopting the framework for the county's climate action plan, which this week, for those of you that saw it in the news, along with Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer's office and Supervisor Vargas's office, we sponsored the board letter to get the county to commit to zero carbon emissions by 2035. It's a big task, but we've got the majority on the board right now, and we are going to work that majority to make this a more sustainable county moving forward. So obviously the biggest thing, of course, is COVID. That is like the #1 thing going on right now at the county. Earlier in the chat, and I can put it back in there again, is I put the website for vaccinationsd.com. That will give you information for all of the different locations, the super stations, and the vaccine pods being points of dispensing all across the county. Obviously, the most number of those pods are going to be in South County because that's where the greatest need is, and that's where the highest positive cases are coming from. And a lot of that is in our district. But if you don't want to go to the website, you can also try to get an appointment through 211. Of course, everything seems to be changing constantly every day with COVID. But to the extent that we keep updating 211, sometimes 211 can't get those changes updated fast enough, because I know we had heard this week that when they lowered it to 65 from 75, that 211 wasn't updated with that information. So we're trying to work on getting this done as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So I will also put my signature in the chat if anybody wants to reach out with me regarding anything going on at the county. I'm here. I'm working for Supervisor Vargas. I'm connecting with all the Dem clubs as I possibly can. We want to keep in contact because we're working for you, and we want to make this county a better place for all of us. So thank you, Cody, and I'm going to put my signature in the chat.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna lower your hand. Next, I have Andrea.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I want to just add a little bit to what Ryan said. First of all, I want to, thank the leadership of Supervisor Vargas and a lot of what we have been seeing in South County regarding COVID and vaccination. We did open up a vaccination center in Chula Vista. I know that, a lot of people have expressed having problems with logging on or like trying to get appointments no matter the time. And so we have set up a phone line in Chula Vista for people to call. And this also helps with people that maybe don't have access to the internet or, that can be on at noon to try to get an appointment. So feel free to reach out and they can help you set up those appointments. I'm going to put that information in the chat. And yeah, so just you can call them, they can help you set up. It's at the old Sears building where we are also doing testing. So we're just trying to make sure that everybody has access to getting the vaccines. And if you know of anyone that needs more support, please feel free to share that number.
Thank you. And then next I have Sess.
Oh, sorry. I was playing around with lowering hands and upper and I forgot to lower it.
Oh, okay. Do you have anything else or are you good? Okay. Okay, next I have H.
Hello, everyone. This is H representing the great Democratic Club of the University City Dems, deputy to the one and only Codi Vierra, inviting you all to join us on Monday for a how to become a boss and join a commission or get an appointment. We've got an all-star panel of ninjas just ready to tell you what the inside lane is, and we would love for you and your club members to come and join us. So please check us out on Facebook, City Dems. The invite's there, and Codi can add any information that I'm missing. I'd like to highlight that Matt from Todd Gloria's office will be there, Michelle Krug, Melinda Vasquez, and Jess Durfee, and a couple of other people I'm sure I'm missing, but would love to see all of you there and join us for this great panel that we're hosting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, H. I almost forgot about that. For some reason, my computer will not load the event on Facebook. I was trying to put it in the chat. So let's see if I can. I think I found the link even though it's not working on my, oh, there we go. I will pull this up real quick. Yes, so if folks can see this now, this is our meeting on Monday. Again, we have folks talking about applying to and serving on boards and commissions. There are folks from City of San Diego, County of San Diego, and then Jess also has served on a state commission, so he'll talk about that as well. Open to anyone, free. We'd love to have you join. I know I sent this out to club presidents, I believe. So if you, some already sent it out, so thanks. We'd love to have you. I know a lot of people have said that they were interested in something like this. Okay, any other, let's see. Oh, Michelle, would you like to make another announcement?
Actually, I want that phone number that Andrea mentioned because I can't see the chat. Can Andrea please text that phone number for me, your elder in South County that is having trouble getting a vaccine appointment? Thank you.
All right. Any other announcements? No. Okay, well, I'm going to ask if our club development committee members could stay on for hopefully a brief meeting, including our newly elected folks if you're available. If not, that's okay. We'll follow up later. And thank you everyone for a great meeting.
Yay, our director of clubs.
Thanks, Michelle.
Well done.
Thanks, Cody.
Right at noon.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Cody.
Have a good
Hi,
weekend.
thank you.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe, everybody.
This is my very first meeting and I was really excited to be here and you did a great job, Cody. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So Cody, club